Precursors were shrouded in mystery. They were an ancient and highly advanced civilization. Existing long before humans or even the Forerunners, they were known as the Firstborn for a reason. They were responsible for seeding life in the galaxy. Their origins remain largely unknown, but their power and wisdom were undeniable. The Precursors possessed incredible technology, including the ability to manipulate neural physics. The Precursors discovered that by harnessing neural physics, they could reshape reality, create life, and even transfer consciousness. This technology grants them a pseudo-immortality, making them godlike in the eyes of younger species. Their creations were vast and diverse, encompassing countless worlds and the forms of life. The Precursors believed in the mantle of responsibility, a sacred duty to protect and nurture life in the galaxy. They saw themselves as the guardians of this grand experiment, traveling the stars, seeding planets, and guiding the evolution of new species. However, their early history was marked by an era of peace and prosperity, a time when life flourished under their watchful gaze. Among the Precursors' many creations were the Forerunners and humans. These two species go on to play pivotal roles in the galaxy's fate. Ironically, they were both deeply connected to the Precursors, inheriting their technology and their philosophies. The Forerunners were chosen by the Precursors as their successors. They were entrusted with the mantle of responsibility, a decision that would later breed resentment and ultimately lead to conflict. The Forerunners, though advanced, were still in awe of their creators. They studied the Precursors' technology and teachings, seeking to emulate their greatness. Humans, on the other hand, were a more perplexing creation. The Precursors saw something special in humanity, believing they were destined to surpass even the Forerunners. This favoritism did not sit well with the Forerunners, who grew increasingly envious and suspicious of humanity. The Precursors' reign was not to last. As time passed, a schism grew within their ranks. A difference in opinion arose regarding the mantle of responsibility. One faction believed that the mantle should be passed on to a new species. They argued that the Forerunners had grown arrogant and unworthy of their role. Another faction clung to tradition, insisting that the Forerunners remain as the caretakers. This internal conflict escalated into a bitter war, shaking the very foundations of the galaxy. The Forerunners, caught in the middle, eventually sided with the traditionalist faction of the Precursors. They eventually saw an opportunity to seize power for themselves. In a stunning betrayal, the Forerunners turned on their creators, using their own technology against them. The war was cataclysmic, spanning countless systems and millennia. The Precursors, weakened by internal strife, were ultimately defeated by their creations, the Forerunners. Gravemind's genesis, from precursor to harbinger of chaos. The Flood's origins can be traced back to a single corrupted precursor. This being would become known as the Gravemind. The Gravemind was once a wise and benevolent being, but the Forerunners' betrayal and the subsequent war turned it into something monstrous. Consumed by rage and a desire for revenge, it became the intelligence behind the Flood. The Gravemind possessed vast intelligence and psychic power. It could control the Flood, directing its spread and evolution. It sought to consume all life in the galaxy, believing that in doing so, it could reshape it according to its own twisted vision. The Gravemind's transformation was a tragedy on a cosmic scale. It was a stark reminder of the corrupting nature of power and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. In the end, the Flood became the Precursors' final, terrible legacy. The Flood, a legacy of ruin. The Flood spread like a wildfire, consuming entire worlds and civilizations. The Forerunners, despite their advanced technology, were ill-prepared for the threat. The Flood could infect any sentient being, transforming them into grotesque, mindless drones. It learned and adapted at an alarming rate, countering the Forerunners' every move. Desperate to stop the Flood, the Forerunners activated the Halo Array. This network of super weapons was designed to eradicate all sentient life in the galaxy. This, of course, was a last resort, a desperate gamble to starve the Flood and prevent its spread. The activation of the Halo Array marked the end of the Forerunner era. The Precursors' legacy was a complex and tragic one. Their story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the unintended consequences of even the best intentions.